I haven't tested if this music is safe, and so to save SJ Arcade's life, I will turn off the music. It's safe on Twitch. I don't know if it's safe on YouTube because I didn't stream YouTube yesterday. So, better safe than sorry. That's what I sometimes say, you know? Synthblight Wavelords, I'd buy it. SBGL is the only one of the faction packs that actually makes you want to play the faction on its own merit, says Dale Graham. I played against it a few times. I have played against it a few times, and it looks fun. It seems pretty good. You can do... This is one of the few battle tomes that you can do multiple things in, which is something I value greatly. Right now, as you know, we're working on the hype tier list, like how hype I am after reading the index. And it's graded on a curve, because I'm trying to be positive. Okay? I'm grading this on a curve. If I wasn't grading it on a curve, Slaves to Darkness would be mixed but seems good. Corn would be mixed but seems good. And everything else would be at most doesn't exactly spark joy. At very most. But I'm grading it on a curve, and so we have people in the nice tier and stuff like that, because I don't think the 4th edition indexes are particularly hype at all. Anyway, a little explanation there. Let's go over the battle traits, shall we? Once per turn army, end of any turn, the hunger. Each friendly vampire that used a fight, and they get to heal. They heal 2d3 if it destroyed an enemy unit using its fight ability. This is cool because it does not use the shit d3 that doesn't work a third of the time. You just heal. I like that. This is good. And healing on your vampires is really a good ribbon. Nice work. It used to heal more, so I don't know how much we'll get into how it used to be. You know, you used to be able to heal, I think, up to 6 or something like that. So the healing is less. But I guess that sucks. But compared to what other people got, I still like it. Hunger's nice. Nice ability. And it just works. I mean, it doesn't just work. You have to, like, live, right? You have to survive the combat. And you have to roll well enough to destroy the whole unit for this thing. So that's where the randomness is in this ability. And since there's already randomness in it, you don't need to add an extra one with the shit D3 roll. So good work. What happened to the good piano music? Apologies, Mechrat 2. But I haven't... The thing that I was playing, Macro Blank, over there, I haven't tested it on YouTube yet. And so I muted it because SJ is going to put this up on Heywoah Plus. And I don't want to get him fired by me. Deployment. Pick a Death Rattle or Deadwalkers. And you can put it in reserve, sure. And then your movement phase. Set up wholly within 6 of a terrain feature. And more than 9 from all enemy units. Okay? Wholly within 6 of a terrain feature. No more choosing the little thing. Deep strikes, even conditional ones, are good. Good little option. What happened to the... Oh, you mean the old piano music? You mean the Katawa Shoujo hallway music from the other VODs? I stopped doing it because too many people complained about it. Should I not cave to the whiners? Are they whining? Or is it a good point? Sometimes it's hard to tell. You know? I guess I've already done it for 70 hours of the 100-hour every index video, so who knows? But I try to take feedback if I think it's, like, good. You know? You like the piano music? Katawa brokers no argument. Fuck 'em. You like the piano... Alright. Alright, well, if you want your voices heard, watch me live. Eat shit. It's back. Anyway, you know, you try to listen to people's suggestions, but sometimes it's hard to figure out what's the right course. Anyway, I like the piano music, and I never get sick of anything, but I think that's like part of my weirdness, maybe. And so that's why it was hard for me to decide that, because I never get sick of shit like that. But I think most people do. Anyway, once per turn. Deathly Invocation. Pick a friendly Soulblight hero up to 3 Death Rattle Deadwalkers. Wholly within 12 of the hero. If it's damaged, heal 3. No rolling, it's just 3. Nice. If it's not damaged, return number of slain models. Combined characteristic 3. I like this being a 3 here. Not just because it's a higher number than a D3. Saves a little time. Army like this, you gotta... Especially with horde armies, and Soulblight is definitely a horde army, right? With armies like that, you have to be really conscious of how much rolling you're asking them to do, how long their phases are going to be. Because their movement phase is already going to take forever, because they have 100 guys or whatever. So as you're designing the rules for an army, you have to be conscious about how it's going to play, and how long it's going to take in each phase to do something. And so, you know, in general, I think, especially for horde armies, that's something. If you're playing Sons of Behemoth, where your army is 4 guys, you can probably give them a whole bunch of rules. Because at the end of the day, their movement phase is going to take 12 seconds. And so they're not really wasting a lot of the opponent's time by having a really long hero phase, say. Or a long shooting phase, say. Because movement is like... go. You know? But an army with 1,000,000 clan rats or 1,000,000 skeletons, and then 5 wizards, it's like, oh geez, let's make sure that, you know, you keep the pace snappy. Even with movement trays. Could you eat ramen for every meal? Same flavor, but your choice of one. What would I get in return for doing this? If it was an equivalent trade, yeah. It takes me a long time to get sick of the same food. But eventually I kinda do. Depends on the food, really. I really like ramen. But ramen is also, it's a lot, right? And I mean, like, not instant ramen, obviously. I ate enough instant ramen in college to last a lifetime. I'm trying to go back to that. But ramen is really filling, and there's always a lot of it, you know. It's not the healthiest dish. So you'd have to keep that in mind as well. But I really like ramen. It's probably one of my favorite foods. Anyway, once per turn movement phase. Endless Legions. Pick a friendly non-unique Death Rattle Deadwalker. Set a battle with 2 or more models, so no hero. Set up a replacement unit. Rounding up half the models, wholly within 12 of a hero or within 6 of a terrain feature. If it's your movement phase, you can set up the replacement unit more than 3 from all enemy units, instead of more than 9. But if you set it up within 9 of any enemy units that kind of use charge abilities. This turn. Okay. What's the ramen to sub ratio? There's a bad ramen place near me that sells like $14 ramen. And then there's a good ramen place a little farther from me that sells like $17 ramen. And I prefer to go to the one, I think $3 is a differential that I'm willing to absorb. To have ramen that, in these 2 places, really twice as good. So about 17 bucks. When someone subscribes, I get maybe $3 or something. Possibly a little less. I qualify for a 10% bonus because of Partner Plus and another 10% for Partner. So I'm getting like 70% cut instead of 50. Off of $5 or whatever, $6 is it? Something like that now. They keep raising the price. Because everything, you know, the price of everything always goes up, right? So, although another reason they just raised the price is because they did regional pricing, and so, a lot of subs from random areas of the world are worthless. So it kind of depends now. It kind of depends where the sub's coming from, weirdly. A lot of people use VPNs and they'll sub to you from, like, some country where the subs cost 5 cents American, you know? And so it looks like you're getting subscriptions, but actually you're getting nothing. Anyway, that's a tangent anyway. Anyway, I like Endless Legions. I have a concern. Possibly doing it in any movement phase. Do you think that's too good? That seems really strong. To be able to set it up on the opponent's turn. I think that's really strong. In my games against SBGL, it was very strong. The trick to instant ramen is adding veggies and a drop of sesame oil to add some flavor. For instant ramen, it's not really a trick, right? Because you're just adding money to it one way or t'other, right? But you gotta put an egg in there straight away. You gotta put an egg in there. You gotta put chili oil in there for sure. Those are non-negotiable. Chili oil, egg. After that, sesame oil is a good one. Shiitakes are good. Little bamboo shoots. I rather like those. Maybe one of those little swirly whirly fish cake things. It depends on how much money you want to put into it, I guess. And the whole point of getting instant ramen is that it's really cheap. So, I don't know. For me, I'll put an egg in it and some chili oil, and then I'm chilling. Some people put, what's that Chinese cabbage called? Bok choy. Some people do that. I really don't like bok choy, so I don't know why I brought it up just now. Anyway, good talk. American cheese in instant ramen? That sounds very disgusting. Pick 2 friendly ramen dishes that were eaten and return them to the plate. Round it up. Anyway, Endless Legion's really good. Doing it on the opponent's turn. Maybe too strong even, but it's obviously it's really good. If you're reading through this and this is your army, you're like, hell yeah, brother. You know, yeah, it costs a command point, but it's super strong. It's the battle tactic killer, right? It's the gotcha. Really strong. And so, looking at these battle traits, what does this mean? Vampires get to heal, so that's some good sustain there. And then everything else is about zombies and skeletons. And the abilities are really good, especially this one. So, what does this tell you? Well, it is the zombie and skeleton army. Always has been, always will be. If you love zombies and skeletons, you will love SBGL. Seems good. You like to make your ramen with requayo. I don't speak Brazilian, which is surely no surprise to you after what just came out of my mouth. But the phrase Brazilian cream cheese, you have my attention. I'm interested in those 3 words. That sounds delicious. I don't know what it is, but that sounds good. Battle formations. Legions of Shaiish. Horror unending. Pick one additional target when using the Deathly Invocation ability. That would be 4. 4 different units, wholly within 12, unlikely. Maybe someone who plays this army can correct me here, but this one seems to be a whole lot of nothing. Bacchanal of Blood. Add 1 to casting rolls, friendly vampire units that are not in combat. And add 1 to wound rolls for combat attacks made by vampires that charged in the same turn. What a subfaction. This is awesome. Hey, do this on all the do this on the other ones. Why don't you? Do this on mine. This shit's great. +1 to cast when you're not in combat, and +1 to wound when you are. That's some Hungarian eating shit. Great. I mean, you gotta be in vampires to do it, sure, but what a great subfaction ability. Love it. Good work. Love to see it. I really like this one. Great work. Death Stench Drove. Bad name. Should have picked a different one, I think. Once per turn, army, end of any turn. Dragged down and torn apart. Pick up to 3 friendly dead walkers to be in combat for each move. Oh, just any 3 dead walkers in combat, huh? Nice. Once per turn, army, end of any turn, so each. For each target, either make a pile-in move, or, well, not or, then. Pick an enemy unit in combat with the target and roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflicting on them more. Okay, sure. Yeah, so this is just, this is Gulping Bite. This is what Gulping Bite used to be. You do a shit d3 roll, you do a little pile-in. It's up to 3 of them. They have to be in combat. It's death. It's zombies specifically. Happens every turn though. Kind of neat. +1 to wound on your elite units. Thanks. Colvin Mark. Oh, do they wound on 2s or something? Should I check? Should I read ahead? Anyway, Gulping Bite is not good, but I guess it's something. It's not great. Tie to Bones and Blades. Add 1 of the rand characteristic melee weapons used by Death Rattle. Get charged same turn. If the unit has fewer models than the attacking unit. Does +1 rend actually matter on skeletons, or do they just do 0 damage regardless? I'll make that decision later, but I don't think your skeletons are trying to do damage. And I don't think +1 rend if you happen to have charged is worth it either. The cool part about having a giant blob of 40 random idiots that keep regenerating is that you don't have to get the charge with them. You can get the charge with your Blood Knights or something. And then these guys are just chilling. So I think this one, Bacchanal of Blood, seems like really cool and fun. And the other ones I don't rate. But my opinion might change when we get to the warscroll section. Heroic traits. Once per turn, your hero phase. Pick another friendly Soulblight Gravelord's unit within this unit's combat range, okay? Once per turn, your hero phase. Roll die 2-up. If the target is not in combat, it can move d6. If it's in combat, it can make a pile-in move. But not attack, just a pile-in move. Another friendly, so 2-up, you d6 move some guy. Alright. I suppose that helps actually. A lot of your stuff is slow. And it would be cool to do this to something that isn't slow as well. Happens each of your turns. Sort of a free run, if you want to think about it that way. I like it. It's good. Unbending Will once per turn your hero phase. Pick friendly Death, Rattle, or Deadwalker's unit that has 2 or more models holding and add d6 to the control score for the rest of the turn. Whatever. Unhinged Rampager. Reroll charge rolls for this unit in your charge phase. Are you using a Velocita? I'm not sure. You can spend a command point for that. I like Lash. It's too bad they can't use it on themselves, but still I think it's good. Of these, I think I like Lash. Artifacts of Power. Orb of Enchantement. Pick an enemy hero in combat to be the target. Once per battle. So, against the hero only, they strike last. Bad. Shard of Night. Ignore modifiers, save rolls, shooting attacks. Okay. So ignore rend when they get... if it's possible to get sniped. I don't think it's... Are you even getting targeted? Most of the time, no. You're next to stuff, right? I guess there's like 3 enemies in the entire game that can ignore Lookout Sir in some way. But that seems like a really narrow artifact. Reaction opponent declared a spell ability for a wizard. Roll d3, 2 up. Inflict an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. If the target is destroyed, do not resolve the spell. Yeah, okay. Artifacts, not interesting. Lash of the Sire is good, like that. So your traits and artifacts are like, whatever, kinda. You're in named character edition. Oh, do you end up just playing named characters, and so this is irrelevant? That's too bad. Spell lore. Cast on a 7. Confirmly Soulblight Gravelord's Wizard. Visible enemy with an 18. Roll number of dice equal number of models in the target unit for each 6. Inflict 1. If any models are slain, heal d3 the caster. Really bad unlimited spell. That's too bad. Prison of Grief. Visible enemy 12. Very short range. But they have strike last. That's strong. Okay. Prison of Grief is really good because you can cast it on your opponent's turn. And sometimes give them strike last on their turn, although you need an 8 to do it. I guess you have +1 to cast. Really hard to cast. But if you get it off, it's like a massive win, right? Huge win, if it works. And then waste away. Visible enemy within 12. For the rest of the turn, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of target's melee weapons. Okay. Once again, you can cast it in your opponent's turn, but with a really short range and really hard to cast. And it's a silver bullet, but it devastates 2 damage opponents, I suppose. Your spell lore is very expensive, and most of it is only good on the opponent's turn and really random. But has the potential to be devastating when it happens, and your unlimited spell is bad. Okay. And then we get to Nagash. You're out of loop. What are we looking at? Soulblight Gravelord's Index. I'm doing a thing where I'm going through every index ever. We have like 3 left after this one. So it seems like I'm looking through this much after the game came out, but it's because we had 26 of them to go through. Such is his power. Silverbolt in the Werewolf Army seems counterproductive. Good meme. Shame Vile Transference used to be good. I mean, I suppose it was a D3 and then you heal a little bit. It was Vile Transference was like good for Nagash because you just had to find any way of causing him to get some of his wounds back and spend those things. I liked I thought the standout spell from old Legions was the one that made you move really fast. What's that one called again? They got rid of it this edition, because getting rid of fun things is the name of the game for 4th edition indexes. What was that one called? It was in the vampire lore and it let you move fast. That one was cool. It was roll equal to the wounds of the target. Oh, was it? Am I misremembering Vile Transference? Maybe I am in that case. Fun is not allowed. This is purely a competitive game, no casual here. I really want to have you understand this, Sir Blame. Competitive players hate the simplified, no fun allowed, get rid of all the bells and whistles things they've been doing. This isn't a competitive player thing. They hate that. This isn't really a competitive versus casual thing. We would prefer it if they kept all that extra stuff and then even added more. The casual players and competitive players this time are on the same side. Vile has changed all 4 times. Okay, so I'm forgiven a little bit. You missed the 9 buff the spell. That thing was cool, where if you cast a natural 9, your spell essentially double worked, like a critical hit. What was funny, in a bad way, was your at the very top of your spell list it said whenever you roll a natural 9, your spell crits. It works twice. And then almost every spell written in it, it said, basically you can't do this twice. Like, it doesn't actually work twice, really. And I thought that was so funny. Very indicative of that era of GW rules writing. They were written in such a way so that most of them didn't actually crit, even though that was your special thing. Manfred von Manstein. He is a 14-3-12-5. He has Geistvor. 6 attacks, 3s and 3s, 1, 2. 5, 4, 2, 3, 3. Yo, his companion's got the 3 render. Okay, big render. Double Wizzy, 6 up ward, fly. So 14, 3, 6, 12 fly still. Several attacks. Ren 3 too. Cursed with companion. So you are wounding on 2s if you're in that one sub-faction. And this one is immune to that, but it already wounds on 2s, so we're fine. The Sword of Unholy Power. If this unit has slain any enemy models this turn, for the rest of the turn, add 1 attack characters to melee weapons used by your shittiest guys that aren't for damage, while they're wholly within 12 of your 12 flying move guy. Well, I'm not saying it'll never work, I'm just saying that's awkward. Reaction, you declared the redeploy command. This unit using the redeploy command can move into combat when using that ability. Please don't. Can you not? That's really good. Graveguard slap, so it's good. Yeah, I carefully... I'm not saying it's bad. I just think it's awkward. It's an awkward setup and effect. I'm pleased that Graveguard are good, though. You say Graveguard are good. I hope so. I think they're cool. Definitely could use a sculpt update. Kinda surprised they didn't in the last wave. Winds of Death. Cast on a 7. 12, what happened to your 16? The same thing that happened to my 21. Now 10. They don't want you going fast. Pick a point on the battlefield with an 18 of the caster. Pick up to 3 visible enemy units within 6. D3, shit roll. Don't like it. You have a fast guy buffing slow units. Yeah, so he can, like, swoop in and help stuff, and so that's where that works. But a lot of times when you have a fast guy, the good thing about him being fast is he can fuck off way over there and affect stuff, and then your 4-inch move guys are just, you know. So sometimes it's awkward, I think. A Shigaroth's Hungover. If this unit charged, roll die, 3-up, strike first. Cool. And you could potentially wombo combo in a very unreliable, don't even try it kind of way, where you spend 2 command points and then you counter charge and you roll a successful charge and then you roll a 3-up and you can strike first on the opponent's turn. But that's enough hoops to jump through that it'll never work, right? I don't dislike Manfred here. I think I like him. He's reasonably durable still, and monster heroes in this edition really lost most of their durability. In general. He's still pretty fast, relatively speaking, since everything got so slow, I suppose. Does decent damage. Has a buff that is sometimes awkward, but it'll still definitely work. He's fast enough to be able to swoop in and buff something. +1 attacks is a great buff to put on a big unit of guys, right? If you have 20 guys, it's 20 attacks. Redeploying into combat is super sick. This thing is sort of random, but strikes first is good. He's a double wizard. Manfred's looking kind of good. You liked him better when he could teleport right after fighting? I thought that was annoying in a cool and appropriate way. It was appropriately annoying. I like that. What does he cost? Manfred von Manstein. 410. Okay. As always, I could tap it down. That 10 feels weird. Doesn't 10 feel weird? Make it 400. Come on. Let's even it out. 410? That's weird. I think I like him though. Next. Prince Vordry, aka Prince Longdong. 16,312. Only Wizard 1 though. Damn. Even dragons no longer have move 14. You hate to see it. Shortimer's Miasma, 10 d6 attacks. I don't like that. 3322, shoot in combat. Oh, good. 63322, charge +1 damage, so let's do 3. Shortimer's Maw, 4s and 2s do 3, and then the Claws. The Saint of Slaughter, the Sultan of Slam. Big friendly non-monster vampire that destroyed a unit this turn using fight and is wholly within 12 of this unit to be the target. I don't like that already. Pick one of the following. They get a really cool bonus forever. It shouldn't be within 12. It should be army-wide. I declare this should be army-wide. This is what their sub-faction used to do, and now they put it on his war scroll. And each effect can only be applied once. No fun allowed. Boo. Don't like it. This is the wrong direction. And then Quick Blood. Cast on 7. You have strike first until the start of your next turn. To me, this is what makes this guy... To me, this is the reason why this guy might be... I keep trying to start the sentence over because I don't think you actually play this guy, but I'm trying to be fair. If you successfully cast Quick Blood, Prince Longdong is amazing. And if you don't, he's really expensive. So, there it is. If you manage to cast Quick Blood, he's amazing. And some people can't deal with it. So this thing is why I kind of like him. And then snapping jowls. Roll a die, 4 up, inflict the amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. That's kind of a snap. You got a charge right, but that's kind of an impact. Yeah, you do get +1 to cast from the vampire rules. What did he cost again? I remember it felt like a lot when I read it before. 480. That does feel like a lot, doesn't it? 480 is a lot. I like Quick Blood. I like basically everything he's doing. 480 is a lot. If you played Prince 4 Dry and managed to cast Quick Blood, I think I would just have to pass the turn and lose. Because I can't actually deal with that. But that's just me. He's not much more pricey than a Velocita. I think a Velocita is a bit pricey, though. But I think everything's too expensive, obviously. Neferata. She's... Oh, damage 1, why? Ew. Does it do something? Pick an enemy hero that was allocated any damage points by the Ahmed Har, 5 up destroyed. So she's got the reality splitting axe still. Aside from that kind of stuff, nice Ren 3 there. In deployment, you can move your guys up 3. That's cool. That's cool. I like it. Wizard 2 as well. Happens at the end of the turn, so there's no shenanigans here. She's always gonna get hit back. You're not gonna, like, free kill them, right? Twilight's Allure. -1 for hit rolls, combat attacks, target friendly SBGL while they are wholly within 6 of this unit. Wholly within 6 might be tricky sometimes because it's under your opponent's control. But -1 to hit rolls, even if they're not attacking her, is sick. Really durable. Nice, nice, nice. Dark Mist. Now this thing used to be really good, and it changed a few times, and it's always been really good. Pick a visible friendly non-monster Soulblight Gravelord unit. Wholly within 12. And they get ethereal. Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, that's great. It's great. Neferata, good. 460's a lot. I'm gonna say this every time. Damn, she's way more expensive than Manfred. I wasn't prepared to read that. So just Blood Knights? Yeah, so just Blood Knights. Manfred looking good. Prince Longdong looking kinda random and expensive, but I could see it. I could see it happening. Neferata looking good, but kinda expensive. I'll take good but expensive over cheap and bad 100 times, though. Especially for the hero stuff. Okavai. The Mother of Nightmares. 4 up, ew. 10 slow. Wizard 1, Ward 6. -1 incoming rend. Okay, so it's like she has a 3 up save then. Right, so against combat attacks, I guess. So they could have just wrote a 3 here and deleted this, but instead you get Nightmare's Miasma. And I suppose she's slightly weaker to shooting in that case. Once per turn army, any combat phase, Impaling Talons. If it charged, pick an enemy unit in combat with it. Roll die, the roll is equal to or less than the target's health characteristic, amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. If the roll is equal to or less than the target's health characteristic, inflict an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. So if you're fighting 1 wound guys, this can't work. If you're fighting 2 wound guys, on a 1 it does 1 mortal, and on everything else it does 0. But against, like, I don't know, some hero or whatever, it essentially does a d6 mortals. Interesting. Alright. Like a hero high wound killer. Or like my army. Not necessarily heroes, but just ogres. It's good against them, I guess. Neat. Oh, right, yeah, it's equal to. Pardon me. Yeah. You can still do 1 on a 1. Equal to. Or less than. The Queen's Dick. Cat. Pick a visible, friendly Soulblight Gravelord monster. Only within 12 of this unit. So herself. Pick one of the target's companion melees at D3. Oh, neat. Cool. Alright. Wait, she doesn't have companion? Never mind. Never mind. She doesn't have companion. You actually have to target some other thing. Are you playing those things? So what do you do? You have some attacks that, you know, you're 3s and 2s on both of them, and you got a bunch of rend and stuff. 4 up, but -1 incoming rend, only 11 health, kind of slow. No flying. She looks like she flies. No, there is flying, pardon me. I was about to say, wait a minute. She looks like she flies, yeah. Wizard 1. Depends on if you're actually going to use the SBGL monsters near her. I don't think you are. What do you cost? I'm not like... She doesn't do anything that I care about, I don't think. 320? Yeah, okay. I don't know why I would want to play her, though. Like, what do? You move slowly and you fight high wound guys? And you buff other things that maybe I'll be playing with, but probably not. Wizard 1, I guess. Summon. Lokavai, not impressive. Kind of boring. Vengorian Larad. You're a wizard as well. And you just have a shittier attack profile. Pick a visible, friendly, non-hero SBGL monster. Non-hero monster again. That destroyed an enemy unit and is also holier than 12 to heal, okay? Once per turn in combat phase, Scything Talons if it charged. 3 up, roll a die for each model in the target unit for each 5 up, 1 mortal damage. A Horde Tickler. And then you got Nightmare Miasma as well. Not really impressive, Vengorian Larad. How much cheaper are you? Basically not. 320 versus... Oh no, you're actually more expensive because you can hold on to a artifact and a trait, I suppose, is the reason. They don't exactly spark joy, the Vengorians here. On Chadukar the Wolf. Crit Mortal, cool. 6742. Wizard 1. If this unit charged for the rest of the turn, add 1 to wound rolls for combat attacks made by stuff older than 12. Until start the next turn, you can reroll charge rolls friendly infantry older than 12, okay? So you are a wizard. That means it's possible that you have a use. Rerolling charge rolls is good. You have to charge into a combat to give a thing to them. Master of the Pack, also known as ST Arcade. Good one. How much do you cost? Radikar the Wolf? 120 maybe? 170. Alright. Probably not, but I'll think about it. And then Chadukar the Based. 12, 4, 8. Also, Wizard 1. You also have some attacks. Kinda slaps for a dude. For some guy just walking around on his 2 big boots, my man has 12 attacks. Half of them are Rend 2 damage 3 crit mortal. Do you count as a vampire? You do. So these are wounding on 2s, maybe. For just a dude stomping around in his boots, like you're kind of throwing hands. Call to the hunt. If this unit charged, oh, it's got the same thing. The beast will out. In this hulking bestial form is a frenzied abomination concerned only with tearing apart everything in his path. If this unit is not in combat, it can move just d6. And it can move into combat. End of any turn. Funny. Dude, just moving d6 end of every single turn, I think that's cool. What a neat ability that is. Fun. Armour of the Night. Subtract 1 from hit rolls and wound rolls for attacks target this unit for the rest of the turn. Just that one turn. And just this unit. But -1 to hit and wound is like a really strong debuff to inside out place on everybody around you. As long as they're targeting him. I like this guy. His spell is a little selfish. But this thing is kind of neat, and this thing is really neat. And he's technically a wizard still. I kind of like this guy. Counts as a vampire, kind of slapping. Please don't be 300 points. 350. Alright. That's a lot. 350 is a lot. Look, I still kind of like him. Everything I've read on this war scroll is like kind of cool. Or really cool. He has some crazy potential with power through. Yeah, imagine. I mean, he's got 12 wound characteristic, right? You charge in there, give +1 to wound rolls with your friends in that same combat. Maybe you kill something, maybe you don't kill it outright. You power through, and then the beast will out, and maybe you roll high or something, and you can do some like silly... I like him. He's cool. I don't have any statistics to back this up. 350 seems like a hell of a lot. Maybe it's not. Maybe he does enough damage that is worth it or something like that. 350 feels like a lot. But I like the things he's doing. This war scroll is cool. And maybe when you put him on the table, he really is worth 350. I don't... Maybe not, but... He does cool things. I guess that's what I'll defend him. You can't wait to try out your Sylvaneth. That's one of the armies I haven't looked over yet. Although... So I can't really tell you. Yeah, or maybe he really is overcost and his price goes down one too. One day, right? Evia Volga. The Outcast. Wizard 1. Okay. Bat Swarm, Needlers. Whatever. -1 to hit her, cool. -2 from attacks characteristic enemy monster melee weapons that are in combat with this unit. Don't worry. Not really playing those. Total Dominance. Oh shit. Cast on a 5-ish if she's not in combat. Those turns subtract from the control scores enemy monster. Yeah, nobody plays monsters. They're bad this edition. That's not entirely true, but it's pretty close to entirely true. Cool anti-monster silver bullet. Maybe next edition. Belladama Volja. Double wizard. You love to see it. 948. Time worn scimitar. Can't fight. That's fine. Wolfguard. Well, this unit is within the combat range of a friendly Dire Wolves unit. Yeah, but you're not playing them, right? Well, maybe you are. I don't know. We'll read them. This unit has a 4 board. Right, it's the bodyguard thing. Got it. Add 3 to the control scores of friendly specific friends. Under a Killing Moon. That movie was pretty good. A bit long, but I liked it. For the rest of the turn, add 1 of the rend characteristic of the target's melee weapons. Target can ignore the effect of the beast. They ignored the beast. So she, like, pumps up direwolves. If you want to play with direwolves, this is the lady to do it with. They bodyguard her for the big 4-up. +1 rend. They can capture suddenly. You have a pretty respectable range on that ability as well. She's still a double wizard. Okay. So she's like the, I want to direwolf it up, and she really gives them the juice. What do you cost? 230, okay. I suppose she is a double wizard. With a good spell if you're playing the thing. Yeah, alright. Neat. Hey, I hope direwolves are good. Maybe you can play with them. Instead of being control 1, they ignored the beast. Yeah. The heroes will all be expensive and the chaff will be super cheap to compensate. Probably, you could do it that way. You could point both things normally, though, and it would sort of end up the same way, but maybe not. Alright, the Shoveler. Shovelman. Who you think maybe he's a wizard, but he's not. Well, this unit is within the combat range of a friendly Deadwalker zombie unit. 4-up ward. Pick up to 3 Deadwalker zombies within 12. Roll D3, return number slain. If he's a free hero, maybe. Even then, probably no. Gorslav the Gravekeeper. Oh, he is an eligible free hero. And 120 as well. I still probably wouldn't, right? Because he doesn't, like, yeah, he does this, but whatever. Torgilius the Chamberlain. He is technically a wizard. This unit can use the Deathly Invocation ability even if a different friendly unit has already used it. So you double deadly. And then failing fortitude on a 6. Yeah, not a vampire. Visible enemy 18. -1 from wound rolls. Alright, Torgilius. 180. And potentially a free hero as long as you're on the other stuff. Though I should note that you only get a free retainer if you take Belladonna, Radukar, or Chadukar. Virko's Bloodborne. Why won't they... Chat, why won't they remaster that game? How come we get Horizon Zero Fun as the, like, 8-time remaster game? They've remastered Horizon Mid-Dawn, like, 19 times. Why don't we get Bloodborne? How come? Asking the hard questions, I guess. For the award show memes? Alright, well, fair enough. Because Sony hates you specifically. Look, it's their IPs to sit on and do nothing with, right? Just like the meme. Your cousin's estranged uncle said we would get a PC port tomorrow. Oh, nice. Alright. Well, I'm content. Dragon Warrior Story Final Boss defeated. Grind success. SG Arcade. Special announcement. Now, when you worded that really specifically, you said story final boss defeated. Are you implying that there's something else after that? I await your response. Cling to the shadows. While each model in this unit is within one of a terrain feature, it can't be the target of shooting attacks. Shadow fast. Shadow fast. Roll die. Sometimes this unit can move at the end of it because it's fast. You're a little better at fighting than I would like for a BT unit, but you can be fast. But only sometimes, which I don't like for a BT unit. But you can't be shot. I don't think this is what I'm looking for. Not 150 for 3. Go Shadow fast. Show us the meaning of haste. Crow Roost, good reference. Good Shadowfax reference. Watch Captain Hallgrim. It's the guy, and then his boys, right? Ahem. Pick a death rattle that is not used to fight. It pulls them in, but it doesn't buff them, so it's bad. Each time you make a run roll, you can change the roll to a 4. It's actually kind of nice. It's actually kind of nice. And you do care about heroes even if they suck because of deadly invocation, right? So, watch Captain Hallgrim. Are you free? Potentially. 110? Alright. I'll think about it. If you're using skeletons. Vargaskir. Oh, it's this thing. The mid-range beast. It's a beast. You 3d6 charge, which is sick, and you can fly as well. But you suck at fighting, kinda. Vargaskir beast. Oh yeah, 180. I don't know. On paper, this looks like a mid-range monster that sits in such a place so that it can't really do anything. You can potentially kill 100-point battle tactic scooper units, but maybe not if you get unlucky, and making it beast is really bad. So I don't know. Doesn't seem worth. But maybe it is. It's not like it costs a drop. Kozargi, orc-looking man. This is the way to give your Chadukar a 5-up ward, but I'm sure he costs more than 0 points, so I don't care. It does look cool. I really like what it looks like. Actually, it looks like a Flesh Eater Court unit. Looks like a, what is it? Vargolf Courtier. Or maybe a Crypt Honker. Hero type. Lady Annika. She's lying in wait and then in enemy territory. More than 9. Kiss of the Blade. Probasian. That's one save rolls for the rest of the battle. Fuck you in particular. Okay. She's cool, and if the game was filled with stuff like her that you could actually play, and you weren't feeling kind of punished for it, I think AOS would be better. Imagine if you had like a bunch of shit like this. Like just cool little, ooh, this is an assassin hero and it can teleport and hurt somebody. Like, if she costs like 10 points or whatever and you could just do it. I don't know, I think it's stuff like that would be cool. Just take her as an auxiliary. Yeah. You know, someday some really, really good tournament player is going to take one auxiliary unit once and do well with that list one time, and people are going to be like, that's it, auxiliary OP. Everyone was wrong. Got the Rat Man. This guy can fight and retreat on a 2-up, pick an enemy in combat with it. 3-up target no longer has the artifact of power. Literally steals the artifact. These people are fun. Crits, I don't know. I think shit like this is fun. It would be cool if there was a game mode for things like this. And then we get the Velazada, the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. Wizard 1, 16-3, 12. Yeah, thought of Adele in my AOS. Sure. Pestilential Breath is really bad. Don't like it. D6, gross. Kinda short range, force to wound, ew. And a bunch of attacks. The thing that should not be. If this unit charged this turn for the rest of the turns, subtract 1 from the control scores enemy units while they are in combat with this unit. Great. Fun. Here's your Gargant Slayer, right? This is fun. Roll 40 d6. Every 6 is a mortal wound. That's fun. I appreciate them not saying limit 10 or something, because this really is the edition where they make sure to write limit 10 everywhere, right? They allowed fun here, but really only against Mega Gargants. Otherwise, this thing kind of sucks. But I just think it's cool. I think 400's a bit much for it, but I think it has a cool ability. It's weird that it doesn't have a spell. There's a lot of empty space down here for like a monster centerpiece of the army. Kind of rando on the attackos. Companion hurts here. Got slower. And then just Vampire Lord, which is also a Wizard 1. 3-up, remove this unit from the battlefield, set it up from all enemy non-hero units and more than 3 from all enemy heroes. You can set this thing up 3 away from an enemy hero. That's cool. Sanguine Blur. It's a wizard but doesn't have a spell. Lots of empty space here. Could have put a spell here. Would have liked to see a spell there. For 160. Nothing personnel, kid. Kato Easy Chair. Leaning back. The Burka Lounger King. Easy Charian Greatsword. Alright. The pommel just has like a love seat on it. Look at all the abilities this guy has. Retribution or Salvation? Retribution or Salvation? New Daredevil. Heaven or Hell. Fight. If the target is an enemy unit, inflict D3. It's going to be 12. If the target is a thing, subtract 1 from root rolls attacks to target that. It's a good debuff. Court of the Lost. 2-up, pick one of the following. Move characteristic of 12. Yo, he's zooming. Okay. Hit the nitrous. Your hero phase on a 2-up, double his move, the turbo button. Add one to casting rolls, unbinding and banishing. Cool. Or the melee weapons have crit mortal. This guy's fun. What a fun man. You got a little funny stuff to do. Kato easy chair. Man's a vampire too, right? So you could be adding 2 to cast, plus 2 caster, perhaps. Only on your turn though, not on, you know, not if you're unleashed spelling. This is a funny little man. I like this guy, Kato easy, and he has a funny name, which is important. 180's a lot. But he's fun. I don't know. This guy's neat. Man, a lot of the Soulblight just has a bunch of, like, cool dudes. That, at the end of the day, you're probably not going to play any of them, because you're trying to not lose, right? But I appreciate them giving just neat dudes with neat shit written on them. I like that. So this is like a unit of weird stuff. Askurgan True Blades. Show person not holding a blade. Okay. Askurgan False Blades. 2 attacks, 3s and 3s, 1/1. Anti-monster, +1 rend, also crit 2 hits. Elongated Claws and Slavering Mars. One out of 8 of them is a monster, kinda. And the champion cannot replace their weapons, because no fun allowed. Creed of the Askurgan. Subtract 1 for hit rolls to combat attacks made by monsters that target this unit. Don't worry, they won't. If you can unit in combat with this cursed blow to be the target, roll die, 4-up, target strike last. 4-up strike last forever? Not forever, but... And each combat phase, huh? Cool. You get 8 of them. Is this one of those units where you, like, can't reinforce it? I hope not. Damn. Okay. This kills the crab. I was kind of interested in this thing. You know, 16 of these guys, half the time they might fight first. Technically vampire keyword. I was thinking about reinforcing them and maybe doing some shit with it. But yeah, I guess it's a Warcry refugee camp. Damn, that's too bad. Oh well. Blood Knights. Oh, now I've played against these guys. They're pretty good. You know they're pretty good. 3/3/12/1. They do 2 damage on the charge. Rend 2 and damage 2. Big save, 3-up. Only 3 health, which feels a little low. You get 5 of them. Sometimes 10 of them. Sometimes 25 of them. Depending on your tastes. Rise of Ruin. When this unit moves, you can pass through models in enemy infantry units and can pass through them. But it cannot end the move in combat unless specified in the ability used. When this unit moves, it can pass through models in an enemy infantry unit and can pass through the combat ranges of enemy infantry, but it can't end a move in combat unless specified in the ability used. The ability used to perform said move, right? So a charge you can indeed end in combat, and you can fly over a chaff unit to do so. A pile-in you could, a charge you could, but a move you couldn't. Okay. That feels like a cavalry feeling ability, doesn't it? To trample over men. Makes sense. Trample to dust. Shit D3. Not fun. Fails more often than you'd think. What do they cost? Dealer. Oh, there's a star next to him. Yeah, alright. 230. I like Blood Knights. You like that a lot of cavalry units in 4th Ed feel more like cavalry? Yeah. I think we could go harder with it, but I like the direction. A lot of this, you're just looking at directions, right? I like the direction of making Cav feel more like Cav. In whatever, you know, you could pick a million ways to do it, but I like that. Instead of this weird, like the saucer ride at a fair, you know, that's how cavalry has often felt in Age of Sigmar in editions past, is just spinning, orbiting saucers, just kind of moving. I appreciate when cavalry is a little more, I'm not saying let's get into rank and flank or anything, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying a little less circles and blobs rotating around. Varga Heista. Jeez, they look so bad. Ugh, they look so bad. They're pretty fast. Once per turn, army, your movement phase. They simply teleport. If this unit is not in combat, simply teleport every one of your turns. Now, that doesn't play nice with battle tactics, actually. Because a lot of the, well, some of the battle tactics I'm thinking of specifically don't work if you were set up this turn, which is a bit of a shame. 160, alright. But I'm not going to complain about a free teleport every turn if you want. Or rather, every one of your turns. They're capable of attacking, but they suck at it. And they die to everything, but they're like kind of fast. They look bad. Bloodseeker Palanquin. I'm going to skip this because it's terrible. Same thing with Mortis Engine. Same thing with Coven Throne. Retire this awful thing already. It always sucks. All 3 of the versions always suck. It looks bad. Stop trying. Zombie Dragon. It's bad. Terrorgeist. It's bad. White King. He looks cool. Mortis Engine is good and a hero. Is it actually good now? Hold on. Hold on. Because this has never been true before. Mortis Engine is good, you say? Alright. Shocked face for the thumbnail, you know? It is a Wizard 1. Nexus of Death Energy. When a friendly Death Rattle or Deadwalker's unit wholly within 12 of this unit is picked to be the target of a deadly invocation, add D3 to the number of damage points that can be healed. Alright. The Reliquary. When this unit is set up for the first time, place a stored energy die beside it with the 1 facing up. Each time a friendly SBGL wizard casts a spell within 12 of it, increase the storage energy die. To a max of 6. Once per turn army, your shooting phase wave of power. Pick up to 3 enemy units within 10. In your shooting phase specifically. On a 3-up, inflict the non-mortal damage equal to the value on the stored energy die. Which let's just pretend it's 6, right? The best possible. Then it goes down to 1. So you have like 3 wizards and everyone always succeeds. So on turn 2 you can use this thing once. If there's an enemy within 10 of it in your shooting phase. On a 3-up. And then the energy goes away. And it's a wizard, so it's going to be charging its own die, right? Oh wait, it's a hero. 240, okay. You say this is good? Okay. On paper, this looks bad. But it has the type of ability that could play out way differently on the table. So, I won't be judging this. You know, maybe the healing is enough. Maybe it's just kind of charging itself. It's technically a wizard 1. I don't like that it costs a drop because it's a hero, but maybe this is one of the armies that you don't have to care about drops. I'm not sure. 240 doesn't seem egregiously expensive for once, though. There is that. The range on this thing's ability is super short. I guess it has move 10. Combo with Torgilius. Do you actually play that? Interesting. Alright. Yeah, I would need to see this thing in action to really determine it, but I will say one thing. For once, the points don't seem crazy. Which is a big plus, for once. Combos with Nagash. Oh, okay, so you're doing that. Alright, I like it. Any combo at all in this game, and I'm pleased. To bring back 12 damage worth of models a turn. Good. Good. There needs to be more combos in this game. I'm on board with it. This guy helps Death Rattle add 1 to hit rolls. Yeah, hey, alright. Great work. 140, not free. Torgilius, Mortis Engine, 36 hit points worth of models each turn. As long as your opponent doesn't wipe it out. You have 40 guys, they kill 36, there's 4 guys left, full squad. Good. Good, more. I want more of that. Doesn't this guy look so good? Isn't this such an excellent new updated sculpt? It still captures all the soul and feeling of the old one, I think. I really like this one. Just updated for a new age. Really like, always did like this guy. I don't know what he does, but... +1 charge rolls for Death Rattle Cavalry. Is your Death Rattle Cavalry good? He doesn't add anything for the pull-in, so it's sort of irrelevant. And he doesn't really do damage. +1 to charge, is that worth it? You fought this guy in Skull-o-Mance, yeah. Soulblight Gravelord's the army is basically, yeah, it's basically Skull-o-Mance, isn't it? The whole deal. Alright, Black Knights. 2, 4, 3, 1, 2 on the charge. Deadly charge if the unit charged, its barrel lances have crit mortal. Oh. I owe Black Knights an apology. I was unfamiliar with your game. I didn't realize they just gave you crit mortal out of nowhere on your 2 damage attacks when you're charging in. Hey, alright. I like him. I'll take 10. 5 for 160? Sure. Whatever. Cool. I mean, they're not, like, crazy or anything, but I like them. I'm a simple man. I see crit mortal and 2 damage on cavalry, I click, okay? And then GG, the old GG no re. Oof. New models, please. Anyway, you get 5 of them. 4, 4, 1, 1. 2, 3, 3, 1, 1. Crit mortal, at least. Kind of neat. Used to be able to choose between 2 damage or a shield. While any friendly Soulblight Gravelord infantry heroes are within this unit's combat range, both have a 5-up ward. Hey, that's kind of nice. Alright, yeah. You get 2 attacks apiece. You're able to absorb some buffs. You have crit mortal, and you give the heroes a 5-up ward. And you get that yourself. You're unbelievably slow, obviously, but whatever. Yeah, okay. You could do some shit with Graveguard. Give him the all +1 attack. 150 for 10. Oh, I thought you got 5 of them. Weird, okay. So at the standard unit size, which is 10, you actually get 2 musicians and 2 standard bearers. Okay. You get 20 of them for 3 hundo. Neat. You just get to double up on the fun things because it's funny. Yeah, it doesn't hurt anything. Right? Like it doesn't actually affect really anything, but that's probably just what comes in the box maybe or something. It's the stupid Six Flags commercial just popped into my head. Who said that? Flags. There's the Necromancer. He still has Dance Macabre, which is the reason for him to exist. 3 up, target can use 2 fight abilities. I don't think I want to. For once, I don't think I want to play a Necromancer. Even if I'm doing Death Rattle Deathwood. I think they're just big blobs that sit there. I'm not trying to pile them in twice. Hero slots are very precious. So, yeah, for once, probably not doing a Necromancer. Are you free? No. 140 for a single caster? I get, yeah, I suppose, Galactic Froggy, if you're maximum death starring on your 20 Graveguard, you take an army list of literally every buff that you could put on it. I suppose you could. Corpse Carto. Do you still give a bonus to cast? Nope. Direwolves. It's too bad they make you take 10 of them. I'd rather take 5, you know? But, alright. They're the beast. 10-inch move, though. You love to see it. Alright, so what did they turn into if you take the lady? If you take Grandma Wolfer, what did they turn into? They got +1 rend, I recall. They lost beast. And I think it was something else. What else did you get from Direwolves? I know you ignore the beast and I know you get +1 rend, but was there a third synergy if you take the lady? Or some other lady? I'm scrolling up right now to it. Oh, it was the 4-up ward. Yeah. So they get a 4-up ward, she gets a 4... Or wait. No. They don't get a 4-up ward. She does and you pass stuff off. Got it. The add 3 to the control score thing doesn't list the wolves. And the spell itself is you ignore beast and you get red. Okay, so it really is just that. I was thinking maybe it was this, the control thing, or... Okay. So now that we have assessed kind of what's happening with these. You got 10-inch move, 20 wounds on a 5-up that's passing off damage from her on a 4-up. It does indeed have a unit champion, which is kind of neat. It can ignore beast, but only if she succeeds at casting the spell, and then you get a +1 rend. And this can use run and still charge. 10. Corpse card can give them crit auto wounds. Alright, and that's useful on wounding on 3s. $10 for 140. Man, I really want 5 for 70. You know? Ah, well. 10 for 140 is still good. I like that movement. Maybe a battle tactic, a BT unit contender. You could do something with that. Dad Walker zombies. You get 20 of them. For how much? You get 20 of them for 150. They're entirely useless. They just don't do anything. They have a 4-inch move. They die to everything. 1 health each. 1 control. Don't even bother rolling their attacks. Just ask your opponent to take 2 damage after 20 of them attack. It's the same thing. And then they have, each time a model in this unit is slain, 6 up inflict a mortal. Which, out of 20 of them, will happen maybe twice. After all that said, they're pretty good. They're bad at everything. But you get a shitload of them, they come back to life all the time. You shift them around, they can deep strike. Sometimes they even do damage, maybe. 40 of them for 300. Fell bats. Ooh, another battle tactic unit, maybe? Hold up. 12-inch flying. This unit can use charge abilities even if it used a retreat in the same turn. I don't want to charge back into combat, thanks. I'll just stay out. It's cool that you get a free retreat, though. Fellbats. Potential BT unit. 3 for 90. Ding, ding, ding. Here it is. Yeah, they have Beast, but so does the other thing. Fellbats. Alright. Taking them. They're locked in. Death Rattle Skeletons. You get 10 of them instead of 20. They auto-regen on top of all your other regen. They're technically better at fighting than zombies. And they have a better save. And you get 10 for 100 instead of 20 for 150. Hey, alright. They're good too. Just get a bunch of them and they kind of suck, but it's fine. I think they're neat. And they're immune to chip damage, kind of like clan rats. Well, not immune, but you know what I mean. And finally there is Sakar. Fang of New Lamia. Who? Unique Wizard Hero, Wizard 2 Infantry? Who are you? Is this like some warband or something? Oh, she's the big snake lady, okay. 5, 3, 3, 1, 2, crit 2 hits. 3, 4, 3, 2d3 companion, meh. Time Swallower's Maw, ooh. Once per battle, any combat phase. Pick each enemy unit in combat with this unit. This unit cannot use the Serpentine Agility ability for the rest of the battle. Okay, so this thing goes away entirely if I do that. Roll 2d6 for each target. The roll exceeds the target's move, inflicting the amount of mortal damage equal to the difference between the roll and its move characteristic. Oh, that's potentially a lot. Neat. Serpentine Agility. If the unmodified hit roll for an attack targets this unit is 1 through 4, the attack fails, attack sequence ends. Joke's on you, idiot. I hit on 5s anyway. Death's Construction. If she's a big snake, why isn't it called Death's Constriction? Anyway, I'll see myself out. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12, that's pretty short. Until the start of your next turn, this unit and any friendly Soulblight Gravelords that are wholly within 6 of this unit, which is not a lot, cannot be picked to be the target of abilities used by the target other than fight abilities. Okay, like a pre-counterspell thing. She has a big snake. She herself is a vampire chick. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Still, maybe. So she's like a... You remember when you guys were telling me that the Mortis engine was just a walking time bomb? I think that's what she is, with this move ability. She's running around holding a snake that has swallowed a cartoon Acme bomb, ready to explode. And besides that, doesn't do anything, but it has Wizard 2, I guess. Wizard 2 is cool. What a weird thing. I don't think I want to play with it, but weird lady. What does she cost? A whole lot? Okay. Terrorists win. Yeah, weird, interesting. This whole book is filled with, you know, you have very few units that are just like legit awful. You know what I mean? There aren't too many legitimately awful things in here, relatively speaking. And some of the stuff that's like bad is at least bad in a kind of interesting way. You saw that they had like a neat idea. And like, oh, what about a shoveler? You know, what about a lady who makes your dogs neat? What about a assassin nothing personnel kid thing that would be cool if this was a different type of game and maybe more skirmishy? There's a bunch of neat stuff in here. Your heroes all feel expensive. Some of them very much so. But then I suppose your troops are really cheap and you get them back, and so that's the payoff there. Blood Knight cavalry seems good. Potentially zombies and skeletons and just reanimating them and doing the whole get them back thing. It's probably pretty good, just like it always is. Bacchanal of Blood is definitely like the one thing, and I don't see a value in really the other one. This one is sick though. Anyway, Soulblight Gravelords. You seem to potentially be able to build multiple ways here. Maybe not like 100% optimally, but pretty, you know, close enough. You just want to give people an excuse, really. And there's a legitimate combo or two. This book exceeded my expectations, which were very low. So that's good, right? Oh yeah. Soulblight Gravelords. Nice. While grading on a curve, I'd put them on nice, for purely just how interesting they seem. This is not a power level ranking. Nice work, nice work. Funnellout.exe. Alright. Anyway, chat, hey, thanks for stopping by. Apologies that I've had to cancel a lot of streams recently, but the reasons for that fucking suck. So, and at least it sucks for me too. Thanks for watching, appreciate it. Look forward to some new YouTube in the coming week. You know, the stuff that people like. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to find a raider maybe on Twitch. Please enjoy the outro. I'll see you Monday. Maybe over the weekend we'll play some boomer-ass game. Or I should work on YouTube. One of the two. Alright, for story time. Well, hot chalkies. Anyway.